Okay, so I have a request for video. Chris Winart asking like how to draw camera angle and perspective from reference. It's like when you have your own character design and your own background design, but you want to draw it in an angle, like in a reference. Like you find some interesting camera angle in a comic book or in illustration. So let's see. So here I prepare some shots from Akira. Let's say so for example, I find like there's some keyframes from Akira anime. So we have like different camera angle with this different scenario. So here is like a down shot here, we have like full shot, and then here this is like bigger shot. Let's like forget names of this stuff. It's like wide angle. Yeah, so this. So we have like I group them already. So we have like down shots here. It's like more close here, it's like full shot, and there's like wide angles. Then again here it's like a little different angle, but still it's like isometry almost. Yeah, it's kind of like isometry. So it's again down shot. It's look like zoom with a long lens. So we don't have like a strong foreshortening. You see, it's like very like parallel lines in perspective. And then have here is like upshot in opposite direction, so it's mean we have low horizon line, and here is like almost like warm view, which mean like horizon line is like very low in the frame. So this, like for example, I take some these frames from Akira, and let's say I have my character design, like I have my character for my comic book or illustration, and I have like my environment, right? Like I want it to be like similar shot, maybe it's like some kind of helicopter, but this will be like my character sitting here, and view will be for another city, like my city in my comic book, right? And this like helicopter, I want to be different helicopter, because like in my world, in my comic book, I have different design. Maybe it's kind of flying car here or something, right? So how can I do this? How can I steal kind of this camera angle and just like composition of a frame from here? And this is all what I'm talking about in this channel. It's about your grammar. So let's say to do such stuff you need to be literate as artist. So you need to be kind of like a Neo in the Matrix, when he look around and he not see this like surface, what every average like you know, like surface creatures see. They just see like this illusion, imitation. As they look and they see only what's this word? Forget. It's a very cool word. Anyway, so yeah, it's just, you know, like decorations. like they don't see core, they don't see essence, they don't see meaning, kind of, and they don't see structure. But Neo, kind of this character in the Matrix, right? He sees things through. He sees things inside out, and he see code. He can see code on which is written reality, right? So because he is kind of programmer, hacker in himself, so he see on which code all reality is built. He sees like, oh, this is a program. This dude, he's not real. He's just a robot been written, programmed with the code. This scene is just like written with the code. Same kind of, I mean, literary. The same happen with us, like with artists. You need to learn code. And when you know code, you can see how different art been built with this code. And this what means to learn art. In this what is mean to learn essentials. It's to learn code, to learn how stuff is built. So, and this code is like language, right? So in a language we have like characters. Where's the other pencil? Like A, B, C, D. So we have like alphabet, we have words, and we have grammar, right? So it's like we have grammar, so it's kind of like how when words connected, also stuff. Then we have like constructions, we have like intertexts. So there is like system and structure of language. So you learn characters, words, and etc. This kind of structure if you want to be like literate writer, or if you want to be expert. Same in us, for artists, you need to learn structure so you can like deconstruct everything. And when you literate, which is like not so hard, it's just like you need to know, at least you need to be aware that you need this thing. Problem is like so often it's not enough kind of literate teachers who will tell you this is the thing, right? Who will tell you like you need to learn to break down, to analyze visual art, kind of. So like I say here, like a grammar, alphabet and stuff in visual art, it will be like 2D design. So it's like we just look on a mark, like the call is like shapes, right? So you can like just look what is the shapes, like speaking 2D. So it can be like overlapping shapes, or it can be also about patterns. Anyway, we can say like one aspect is 2D. It's just, what if like you turn off your 3D perception and you only see 2D marks, like patterns. So let's say like this one shape here, right? So it's like shape language. It's the one thing. Other thing, it's this like a space, structure of space is what I talk also in tutorials. So it's like when you can see this 3 axis. So it's like we have y-axis for verticals, then we have x-axis for kind of horizontals, and when you have z-axis for depths. So kind of no matter what reference, what photograph or drawing, you should just always be able to see it or impose it. So if it's not clear, you say like, okay, it must be something like that, and you create space, you create this kind of perspective grid for this view. Because for you to make space, you will need this. You cannot like juggling with nonsense, with vague, uncertain stuff. You need some structure. You need core, like solid system. So what else? Like other, like this, you know, like layers, right? Like different aspects. So we can talk about like volumetric quality of each object. So it's like here we have this like box, each building as a box. We have, let's say, this like helicopter as a box. We have this dude as a box, right? So we have this. It's like a language. So this is like, I don't know, can call it like 3D language, but it's like all essentials. Language, grammar. Like I'm not linguist, so I don't know exactly like how to how to call it properly, but I think you know what I mean. Just making it as a metaphor. So it's like, what is his head as a 3D form, and then you can just like go and like subdivide it into smaller forms, like each finger as a box, or like what is a form of wrinkles on a clothes, what is his form, like 3D form of a nose, like, and then other one is also like, let's say, like anatomy. So we have like this kind of bone. It's like so here will be like bone, right? So it's just a general rule is like kind of more this kind of undercurrent logic, you know, more leverage you have, more creative control you have. And this is what it's all about. So it's personal thing. Of course, it's up to everyone, like how much they need this stuff. So here's some bones and stuff, right? So you can like, let's say, have a skull here and stuff. So somebody really wants to be able to see like completely through, to see all bones, and like, and I find myself it's just if you want really be professional, to then you need to aim to this direction. So it's like you can see like Iron Blaze, for example, right? He can draw whatever like stylized work, but he can break down every stylized drawing into 3D and into anatomy and into everything. So because he'll have like very solid knowledge of the stuff, so he can see through. So it's like you can see bones, you can see muscles and kind of stuff if you want, right? So, and what is this? Why I talking about this? Why I need this? Because this is what you actually work with. You are not working with imitation. You're not imitating like one appearance to another appearance. It's not like you look around and say like, oh, I want to make something look like this. No, as artists, you creating stuff. So when you want to create something like something else, like you want to create a picture of a car, right? So you need to understand what is the construction of a car so you can recreate it. So you're not imitating look of this car, you literally kind of creating this car in the form of this kind of reality, right? So you always work with like 3D language or like abstract design language, color language, maybe this like anatomy language and stuff. And yeah, so you see it's kind of like all this very complicated on itself. So, and let's say when I talk about I want space and I want and I want pose. So what is mean to make pose of character or make angle? So let's say pose, right? So I look at this guy. What is his pose? It means I can break him down into this like just like flat shape, right? So it's like what kind of how much space he borrow from my picture is kind of this, right? Like what is shape of him is as a mark, as a spot. It's a one thing, it's one language, it's like shape, right? But I might say like, oh, this kind of, if I see this pose only as this, it's a lack of a form, it's lack of this kind of like spatial realism, right? So then I can say, okay, how can I create him to be like three-dimensional? So then okay, so I need to see him in a 3D space. So let's say like if there is like Kim Jong-gi showing his examples, right? So this is kind of space around this guy, around this figure. So is this kind of box. Now he is not only like he have this kind of flat volume. Now he have like this, like he has this volumetric space he borrows, right? And then I was like, okay, I can also look into more of his own elements, kind of, right? What kind of he have. So it's like, okay, he have this like head, he have body, then he have legs and arm here. So it's like we have this kind of directions, angles, right? So you need to break it down, you need to see it like as a language, as a certain code, you see? So without such approach, without deconstruction, without your ability to simplify, you cannot draw anything properly actually. It's like you don't have conscience control. Oh, hello Looney. Yeah, today a little late, sorry. So we have these directions, let's say, what kind of angles and stuff. Can I just examples show? And it's not about like sequence of drawing, like which sequence you draw, it's another topic. It's just about like you need to see through, you need to see which elements is kind of on which elements everything built. So, and now I can say I can break down his body into these boxes, right? So I can say he have. So this give me idea, give me information about this character as a 3D object and how much 3D space he inhabit, kind of, right? So have like can turn legs into boxes too. Okay, you see, right? So I even have ground here. So he's not like he's flying somewhere and stuff. And this is just in general how you should to see stuff, like a neo kind of in visual arts, right? And then what you notice now, this is how you can use reference too. It's because this thing you cannot say it's where it's from. It's very general stuff. It's just some kind of mannequin, right? It's just maybe I kind of maybe I drew it from this guy, right? Nobody knows. So it's not like I'm plagiarism or something. No, it's like you are not plagiator if you use like English alphabet, right? Because it's too general, kind of too generic. So same here, like, and also it means this is not any particular character yet. It looks like it's a male character, but you can turn it, like change a little proportions, and you can turn it for female character. You can like make like head little smaller, you can make legs little longer, right? So you can adjust it, and you can just like imagine again, like if you're working in a digital medium, like in a 3D, right? You can put any skin on this. So, and let's say maybe I want like I want to make it this guy, how he called, like Mark Jensen, I think, from Cyberpunk. So let's say here will be some, like I make him like very muscular dude here. And I can like, so it's this character, he have some props on him. It's like you have a knife. kind of this yeah, better draw vehicles, but anyway, kind of it shows idea. So так. So you can just like take any pose and turn it in any character. All you need is just kind of break it down, like go step back in the creating process. So same like if you create figure, like you have this like at least proportions at first, and then you can like adjust these proportions, turn it into 3D. So it's kind of you go through this stages, right? And same you need to be able to break down, like going back to these stages with a reference. So you can see is like what is proportions on over figures, what is there like in box forms. Or like kind of sees like what is anatomy there and stuff, and also like look where is perspective grids. Let's see, kind of this. So let's see again. Well drawn by James. My camera is phone. I have like app to which can use phone camera. Так. So he kind of here, looking down. thank you. Yeah, I'm not very like confident with drawing figures, so. But thank you. Так. And he have like here's like pocket on his pants. So it's kind of. Так, so okay, and let's then more show like. So here I was like kind of explain idea, and yeah, now I just can demonstrate like how I actually can do it. So here I took just some random locations. I have some reference, so it's kind of, don't know where is this, like Turkey maybe, don't know. So we can use this, and here's some China maybe, and here's some frame from forget this name. So let's take for example this one, right? So let's say, oh, I like this scene, I want to do similar in my comic book, but I have like, I don't know, let's say there's kind of gate like this in my story, so there should be, instead of dirty wall, there will be this kind of gate, right? So to do this, oh, cool, thank you. So to do this, I need to, like I say, break it down, and I see this structure. So, and I say like, oh, if I like angle, camera angle, so this is about perspective, right? It means it's like kind of what is a 3D space here. And I can look, okay, maybe I show a bigger picture here. So I say, oh, I can see this here. So this is vertical line here, right? And looking figure, it seems like it's just really like isometry. It's just kind of all about straight vertical lines here. So we have y-axis, like this is just vertical lines. Then I look z-axis, it's here and here. So then we have little convergence, so it's little convergence here. And x-axis, I can see this, I can see this wall here, also like just a little slight convergence. So this is perspective grid I need for my picture if I want to draw similar camera angle, similar composition. So y-axis is like z-axis and x-axis. So this is our camera angle here. Then I say like, okay, I want to change character, like, oh, maybe I also want to make it like, I can make it completely different. So let's say make two different picture. Maybe one here, smaller size. So I can use exactly same angle and do completely different pictures. So nobody will ever find it's been taken from Akira. Let's say, yeah, so this is our camera angle, and here I put this kind of, let's say, it's like scene from Cyberpunk 2077. So we have here like a sofa, and somebody sit on a sofa. And here some, I don't know, children kind of standing on their sofa, say like, hey. It's like Cyberpunk Simpsons sofa. Maybe they like play Mortal Kombat, like Bart Simpson and Father. And here's like Sega Mega Drive. On the floor, some cartridges. Or I say like I want it to be like, maybe I want it to be like a mesh, so people can see I was like implying about Akira kind of here. So I just make my own character, and this will be like motorcycle from my story, like my own design. Maybe it's like 3-wheel. I've never seen motorcycle exhaust. Will be my, right now just create this idea. It's like 3-wheel motorcycle. With here two suspensions. Hello, Blondie. Oh, cool. Thank you. Так. So, and here is like not much space for this, but let's say I want to put gate. No, maybe better, this will be a better fit. Let's take this kind of like old door on the background. So here will be like, let's just try take some design from this picture. let's say, kind of old door here. So you see, it's all about deconstruction, and you will be like very kind of fluent. It's like it will be feels like very simple thing to do when you practice it for some time. When you practice just these things itself, like practice drawing perspective grids, practice drawing so this gate here's like a window. Hello, Master Roku. Yeah, you can join my Discord, like if you became member of a channel, and you can show me your works, ask like for feedback, review in a Discord. So it says Mark Jensen from Dogtown Cyberpunk. He's here, like. Hello, Artreach Studio. So it's like kind of standing here. So or I can make car here, you know. So when I able to break it down to perspective, to box, I open a lot of opportunities for myself. Now I can do whatever I want. So and this is kind of idea. Так, see. And just kind of doodling around. Just invent new kind of motorcycle, like a train, motor train. Here's like gas tank. this like shock absorbers. Here we have so here need to be like footrest for passengers. Here will be like frame. And this rear fork. Oh, hello, Krishna. Yeah, so yeah, I hope it's clear here. It's like this is in all my video actually. It's just sometimes it's also I believe it's issue everybody have, which I understand myself not so long ago. It's when you practice these essentials. Essentials is like perspective grids, boxes in perspective grids, breaking down stuff into boxes. Like slowly, you will notice how your vision change. Like you start to really understand very complex concepts because you practice stuff. Because if you have lack of practice, it just restrain you from real understanding. It's kind of, it's just too much information to comprehend for you. It's like you too busy struggling with making straight lines, so you don't have kind of brain cells to think about other stuff, to really understand kind of more advanced concepts. Or as let's say, like you might think you already kind of dealing with advanced theory, like you already understand it, but you actually no, because you're still busy with some kind of beginner stuff, and only like in kind of put more work in this like beginner things, like just do it more often, do it like make more mileage with this stuff. Just make like 100 pictures with perspective grids, break down like I do. Watch my videos, right? I give you examples how should you break down your favorite art. Like you say, you see this like your favorite frame from anime or from illustration, break it down to perspective grid. Just analyze what kind of perspective grid it have, and then draw your stuff within this perspective grid. So let's say here's like pedestrian walk. And because it's like in a one certain moment you will feel like you already understand it and it's too easy to do, but it's just your laziness trying to sabotage you, it's just it's kind of resistance. If you read book War of Art, I recommend before you must read this book. It's like, I think it's very important. It's like resistance want to stop you from improvement and want to stop you from doing right thing, kind of, and it's like kind of inner voice always kind of trying to sabotage you. It's like say like, it's okay, you already know everything, you don't need to practice anymore. No, it's like when you understand, when you already got it, now put it on repeat, just make it like 100 times, and like change sometime, like slightly every time. Just like, okay, you feel you're confident with perspective grids, okay, just play around with the angles, do like slightly different angles with perspective grids. Hello Gobi. Cool, thank you Gobi. Yeah, so and you see anything again here, right? What we have in this picture. You say like, oh, I want to draw it. It's like remind me of like recent events we everybody have, right? So maybe we're now all like that's all, you know. That's all. Like I just don't see like super abilities. Yeah. So what we see here, perspective grid. We see 4 figures. Each of them is like this set of boxes. So again, let's say I already can do it in my mind, and I even don't need to do much effort again, because I already, like, even if you watch my videos, right, you can see how many breakdowns of perspective I done for tutorials. Just this has helped me improve a lot. So here we have this perspective grid. It's kind of isometric. So this is like a long lens. It's like camera very far with a big zoom. So we have this kind of isometric perspective. How can we draw both in different? How can we draw both in different positions in the circle? You mean like same pose from different angle, right? So let's say finish with this one here. So we have perspective grid, then we have like, you can see them as shapes, right? So it's like one, there's like this like a dumpling kind of, and then it's like he is kind of like a swallowed by amoeba, right? So it's kind of this shape language. It's like they're like digesting him like some kind of predators, and then you can also see like this like empty shapes. It's also all this is rhythms. It's really like, it's kind of subject more like about composition. It's like abstract composition subject. If talk about perspective, like 3D space, I show you perspective grid of camera angle, and then we can talk about like boxes of them. So it's like I do maybe like a little row here. Let's see. So here will be this kind of. So because now you see, if I can see him as a box, I can make him anyone. Now I can like put, instead of this guy, I can make any character sit in the same pose. And if I break down like any of this figure, I can put them in any other environment, and I can draw them from different angles too, because if I able to draw them as a box, so I can rotate my camera around this box. So let's see. And etc. Right? So then I just like take it out, like, let's see. So here is like kind of, we have this guy as a box kind of language, right? And why? Yeah, so this kind of interesting question, right? Like, why you need to be able to break it into boxes? Because box you can rotate in a space, or you can rotate camera around this box, right? So let's say if I have a box like this, right? I think it's like very easy for you to draw this box like from here. Say like, oh, it's a camera looking from here, right? How this box will look from this angle? Oh, it will be look something like this, right? Or if I move camera a little from here, okay, now I will see little of this side, right? And etc. I keep on moving here, so this will be like 3 and 4, right? So now I can see this like 3 and 4 angle, or like 45 angle. So if I look from top, so this like how this box looks from top. If I look from top, camera from here, it's like this. Camera from here, it's like this. Camera like 45 angle, it's from like this. I have so this, it's subject on itself which you need to master, and I have video called how to rotate stuff in perspective. So you know, it's like this video is like 1 hour 30 minutes or 2 hour kind of like, and I've been there, like I make it like as concise as possible. It's really like very busy video with a lot of information there, and many informations there you cannot find anywhere. It's like just kind of encyclopedia about rotation. And what I keep repeating and telling you, there I show you idea, I show you theory, I show you how it works. But after this video you will not able to do this. After this video you need to take stuff like this, like I show you there, like crayons boxes, right? So you have this like rotation box in perspective. So you need to draw them. I tell you, like surprise. Like you know, like I spent like 20 years like struggling learning stuff how to draw better, and I tell you, like after 20 years you really start to understand what is really important, and really important and real value. It's to find answers, because it takes years to find some answer for some like tiny problem, you know. And what I do, I gather all these solutions, all this information, and share here with you to save your time, right? But if you're not practice, all this waste, all this mean nothing for you, because you just don't do your work. You don't do your part. Your part is to follow my recommendations, kind of, right? Like if I tell you, like, oh, this screen boxes, this is freaking genius. This stuff is genius. When I was really find it and understand what is that, it was like blow my mind. It's like answers so many questions for me. It helps, like incredibly help for you to understand angles, how to rotate objects and how to rotate camera. Just if you will just kind of draw it about 100 times to just to feel really like how can you draw box and you know exactly what angle is this box right now, so like this one, right? Because then when I able to draw box like this, something happened in my brain, and now my brain can go farther. He can say like, oh, now I can draw figure from this angle, so this can be a dude, right? And if you don't put this work, if you don't do this practice, you will never have this kind of switch in your brain. You will be on this kind of you know, blind state of an amateur who like keep making like one drawing in a week and feel like he's an artist, you know. No, you don't need to kill yourself on a table. You don't need to draw like make your fingers bleed. All this is BS. Just if you draw like 6 hours a day every day, it is kind of unusual. This already is like you draw a lot. But if you're professional, you need to draw at least like 8 hours 5 days a week, right? At least. Then if you're like animator, these guys drawing like crazy. Yes, they draw like at least 10 hours. Thank you, Austin. Yeah. So, and I keep kind of repeating this. I keep telling this. It's like, if you don't do this work, your brain is a virgin. It's like too amateur, too soft and fragile. You will not able to understand what this really means unless you have practice. So goes this video about rotation, how to rotate in perspective, and you can take like I there make like pointing for you, right? I say like, oh, Crane's boxes, draw them, like make all freaking sketchbook just like kind of drawing these boxes, at least for example, because after like 100 times something will change in your brain and you will like, wow, like a Neo in the Matrix. You'll say like, okay, now I get it. Only then, and it will be also important for you, this switch, this moment of realization, right? It's an experience of understanding that like, yeah, there is reward and kind of new level, and this how it works. Like you take theory, you know, it's like this is the right theory, this is like professional system kind of, right? You start to train yourself according to this system. You train, then you change, now you're a different person, then you go next level, kind of this. And this kind of called perfect practice. And I will also make video about this, maybe talking about how to improve. So best way to improve faster is not about like finding like shortcuts. It's opposite. It's like you need to find like perfect practice. You need to find like how things work actually, right? And you need to like going like through it, like doing it all. Like, and earlier you start to do it, and how much work you put there, this much you will get from it, like as a result of your effort, kind of, right? So let's say figure, right? So like a box, so same way is like we can rotate camera around figure, which is we see like a box. So let's say I want to look it from here, right? So now I just need to look at these boxes from another angle. And draw boxes is much easier than drawing all anatomy of wrinkles, folds, right? And this is something like about logic. So you, yeah, for this kind of stuff, yeah, I think you need maybe like IQ about 100 at least, is probably, I think, because this really requires this like logical thinking when you need to see like what go first, kind of what is more essential and what is follows, right? Like what is derived from what. So if you want to draw angle or you want to draw 3D, then first of all it's about boxes. So first you need to figure out how to draw it as a box, and then you will able to add any other details. So let's say some kind of this here. So now we have like camera like from here, right? And this is kind of a very difficult pose, for sure. Hello, Muffin. So then I can like start to put it more like character. So he's like this doctor. Так. He make like crazy look. Oh. But anyway, like doing this kind of stuff, I believe you really like became better, not only in a drawing but in general. You really became like more clever in general. It's really to train your brain. And I kind of still working, figuring out this stuff with drawing figures. Oh yeah, yeah, new emos, new GIFs. Anyway, yeah, so this like kind of this pose very hard, no dubs, so I kind of make challenge here for myself. But anyway, I hope you got idea, and especially also like for this stuff, like of course, like for myself, I prefer and I will work more to improve my ability, like to draw like completely from imagination, just because I wish to have this ability. But now, of course, like most artists, they just using dolls or 3D models in a 3D apps. Like I have a posing app on I have posing app in on iPad, and when I've been doing, I'll show you, I've been doing like complex pose for my comic book. There was like fighting scene I showed before. I can look. It's like here. So it was like I was looking like how to do this like camera from below when he is like punching with the knee into his nose. I was like, oh, I don't know really how to see. It's like spend like couple hours trying to draw it myself, but then I just open app, I make this, put two figures in this position and move camera below. So it's kind of fine, like every artist do this. It's just when you stuck, when you see like, oh, this is freaking complicated, I just cannot do it, just go to 3D app, help you to, like before artists they will hire models, and these models will be like pose in their studio, and they make photographs, they make sketches from real people. Now for us, like I don't have so much money to rent studio and hire models to be like there whole day. So something like this, you can like you can make like very complex poses in a 3D and move whatever angle you want. Also this 3D software, like if you want, it can help you with the shading too. Also kind of fine with that. But like I say always, it's not like you kind of give up and now only use 3D. I think it's better just use 3D maybe like when you want double check or you want to do stuff faster, like you don't have time to kind of refresh your basics. And still, like when you have free time, you keep improving your ability to draw on people in 3D. So, and let's say app name, let me check. Pose it. Let's go pose it. So I have this one, for example. I was recently trying to do this stuff. It's kind of very convenient. Just, I mean, really like kind of understand also this one thing is really important, what I say. It's your ability to use 3D programs for a drawing also depend on your ability, like on your knowledge of essentials. If you're like really have problem with essentials, with perspective, then you you will not take much from 3D apps because you kind of a noob, right? And in the opposite, if you're very educated, you're very literate with the drawing in perspective, drawing 3D objects and stuff, you will, like 3D programs, they will like make you even stronger. It's like this movie about I forget, I remember this guy, like he eats some tablet, so make him super smart. And this guy say, yeah, if you eat this tablet, it make you super smart, but if you already smart, it will work better for you. Same as like these tools, like 3D tools. If you already have good knowledge of like if you are able to draw 3D figures and stuff, if you know anatomy, you will have much more, you will get much more from these digital tools than any other average people. Same like, you know, like if you see people going to use oil painting and they want to make this kind of like oil painting like masterpiece, and then you see guys like who have a lot of essentials and he know a lot of techniques and he also use oil painting. How much different work they do. Same here with apps. No, this app you can use for free, but if you buy it, it just will give you more tools. Just like they have more models if you pay for it. It's no expensive. It's just one-time pay, so it's pretty convenient. I don't like pay like subscribe for apps. So this app you can just buy one time. Really convenient. It's more convenient than this actually. Like I almost never use this figure because it's like stiff. Like you see this one I cannot. Oh, actually can. No, not very much. Something. It's like it's almost break here. So anyway, let's show you again some more like what I'm best at this moment. You will see like in 1 year I will teach you how to draw figures without any apps in any angle. This will be looks perfect. Now I also little struggle with them. So let's show you how to use this composition and camera angle. Some more examples. Let's take this like helicopter scene. So we see horizon line. So robot, so annoying background. And we see this character here, right? So he's like so this kind of thing, like, you know, when we're making, yeah, pleasure, yeah, glad to help. Thank you, Chief, for feedback. It's like when we're making comic book frame or illustration, we also act as a director, kind of, right? We need to direct scene. We need to make creative decisions, like choose which, like which pose he sit, and this pose can have so many slight modifications. So let's say he have a gun, right? He can sit like kind of like a John Wick, or he can like aim with a gun. So here's like I can say like maybe he kind of on my drawing will be some kind of like this. Maybe my character, he sit with a gun here. So, and here we have this perspective grid. Here is like helicopter interior, and here we have another flying vehicle, not helicopter, so it will be like flying vehicle here. So it's like cyberpunk. So I take this camera angle, but I change for my comic book kind of. So here maybe it's like open, and we can see driver. Have some kind of reinforced jaw. I don't like this gun, looks weird. Let's change how he can sit. Let's see. Maybe he just sit like this. Yeah, so for this point, like I prefer to find this poses of dudes how they kind of sit on helicopter with the guns. Some kind of delta force, because it kind of looks silly if I don't have reference. Okay, let's just make it for fun. Так. Here's helicopter interior. Here's like this seat. I need to some like patches here. So then we have this vehicle. And here is a driver kind of seat. And here we can see some rooftops. So if I have like my own city and design, it can be some particular district. I can have some typical buildings for my story. Maybe there will be some kind of billboards or stuff on the roofs. And then, yeah, and I also can I can draw any other helicopter, let's say here. So have here, let's say. Maybe like clouds. So yeah, let's do some shading. Так. So, Krishna, let me know if it's helpful so far. So then, like here, right? It's kind of, it's very much like this composition or perspective grid. So like this, down shot, almost isometry. So let's do this one. Let's do this one. So here is like our z-axis. Again, if like your first time on this channel, there is many tutorials about perspective grids. Really convenient and you will very fast understand how it works. So we have this y-axis, z-axis and x-axis. So now you see what kind of elements here. We have cars, we have people, and we have this kind of props, which is also okay. It's kind of funny. Let's break it down. Let's show you again. For example, so people, right? Here standing here like a box, right? Then this prop, it's also like a box. And this prop, kind of like a box. It's just because it's like a pyramid, right? So it's leaning like this. Then this car, it's a box. So this ability to see in from general to particular, you can see space as a perspective grid, right? This one. Then you can see how each element is some kind of box within this space. So, and then let's say you can, like in my tutorials about how to draw vehicles, you can see this vehicle, how it's made out from boxes. So and then of course you can also draw any vehicle anywhere here, just because you know how it works, right? Because you see this hierarchy of like boxes and details, so you can work from box form to making it detailed. So let's say here will be kind of, so this one it's more like a SUV, like big car here. You can open door. So here we have wheels. You can break window. You can open hood. So you open hood and then we can see engine inside. We have bumper. You can break this bumper, so now it's leaning on the ground. When you really understand how it works, you have this creative freedom. This is what I talk all the time. So here you have your own characters, you have your own story, you have your own vehicles. So let's say I can change proportions. I can make it like closer, like my zoom here is closer. So let's say I have somebody sit on the ground here. He's like, what happening? And there, like one motorcycle standing like this. And maybe here somebody sit, like he's sit on motorcycle. Then other motorcycle, he's like fallen. He's leaning on the ground. So he's like maybe fall down from motorcycle. This guy make bigger. So we have same camera angle, but different characters, and instead of cars we have motorcycle here. This guy with a knife. So you try to hit me with your motorcycle. Sorry, mister. Так. Here we have maybe, let's see. It's kind of burning. It's like, bro, your motorcycle on fire. Here's oil. So then maybe can make like a shadow here. Here maybe building. Some patches on the road. Use all this paper. Take this eraser. Okay, or let's say this one, like here. So here again we have vertical lines for this camera angle, vertical lines like this, the horizon line just on the bottom of the frame is horizon line here, and then we see kind of z-axis kind of going like this, and X axis and going like this. So here we have like character on the foreground, and we have character here on the middle ground. In the background there's some view, some buildings. So I can do my own buildings here, and I can do like maybe like, so this character, he's like fallen down here. This will be my character. So what's this here? Maybe this guy. So let's say it's this kind of before this he fall down, and we have this guy standing here. Looking at him. Here you have knife. Here you have like pockets. And this guy is like have hangover. He just fall down from motorcycle. So just kind of I don't have my own designs for these characters. It's just kind of playing around, improvising. Like, so in here we can see building will be maybe it's like you can see like a billboard here. So it will be like sure how to write like cafeteria. And here can have some air conditioners, some pipes. is this? Oh, or this one, let's say, we have this kind of low camera. So this two guys in a bar. So this can be like a bar in a cyberpunk game. And again, it's just what is a perspective grid for this camera angle. You can say it's little like 3-point perspective grid. Like this, and then like this. So here is a like perspective grid for this angle, for this space, and you can switch this bar. It can be any kind of bar. So then it became like, now it's yours, right? When you're able to break down, now it's yours. And let's say, okay, still it will be like a bar table. We have bar seats here. It's just like, it's really this literacy with essentials give you this ability to manipulate and extract useful data from any reference. So this is why you need to practice essentials. Essentials is not about like, oh, it's boring, I need to all the time draw perspective grids. No, you don't need all the time draw perspective grids. Even like at certain moment, like more you draw them, less you need to draw them in the future. It's just let's put him glass, so he hold or bottle, so it's look more visible. So he hold a bottle here, and I have a barman here with little bit different pose. So you will really like less need it, all this stuff, because it will more and more just happen automatically in your brain, some kind of like in a Terminator or Robocop or Neo in the Matrix. You will just see it in your head, but it's not what you need. You're not aiming for like, finally I don't need to draw. Always like, you will always draw, so don't try to avoid drawing. So let's say this guy will be robot, so it's like robot bar. Working harder, drinking better. He's like drinking antifreeze. here is this sync. Forget how they like have this funny facial designs. Let's do like this. So, and there also like somebody asked before when I did like breakdown of Ryan Berry illustrations. They like, oh, is this thumbnails or finished drawing, finished art? Yes, this is kind of obviously it's like thumbnails, but if I just instead of making small, I'm making a whole paper, and I just spend more time for drawing details, it will be finished work. So whole sequence, whole process, and whole like methodology exactly same. It's just when you work with thumbnails, you can practice much more, like with a different kind of scenario. When you draw in big one, yeah, of course you more practice final like kind of polishing work when you using this line art and kind of all this detail level. Yeah, I was talking about this Ranberry, and we have I did other Ranberry. Like this one. So it's kind of same stuff, it just takes a little more time to elaborate all details. And even I can, so if like this one, it's like smaller size, so it's faster to finish because it's just less moves need to do. It's like line length is much shorter than when you use big size, so you need less time to draw all these lines. But then you can draw, I can draw them bigger like this, it will take longer time, and I can draw it like this one, I can make it more careful so it will look more clean, but again it just will take more time. So essentially, like in like composition and perspective, it doesn't change, it's exactly same. So if I want to practice how to do this kind of composition, this kind of perspective, making thumbnails, it's enough. You don't need to spend a lot of time for details and for polishing work to make it look like final illustration. You need to practice drawing this 3D stuff itself. Okay, so for today we'll finish with this one. Hope it's been useful. Give me feedback, write me like, does this help, and see you next video. And wait a second.
Madness. This is